He was the perfect striker. Strength, speed, skill, and a left foot that could break nets. At his peak, the world called him the Emperor. Then, in an instant, the crown slipped. This is not the story of a player who failed. This is the story of a boy from the favelas who conquered the world and then lost the reason to keep conquering it. Adriano Leite Ribeiro was born in 1982 in Vila Cruzeiro, Rio de Janeiro, a place where the streets could make or break you. In a favela, life was unpredictable. One day you'd be playing football, the next day gunfire might send you running for cover. Adriano's father, Almir, was a quiet but strong man. He worked long hours but always made time to watch his son play. Adriano's mother kept the family together. They didn't have much, but they had each other. From the age of 7, Adriano was already making a name in the neighborhood games. He was taller than the other kids, with legs like pistons and a left foot that could launch the ball halfway down the street. Locals would shout, "That boy's going places." By 17, Flamengo signed him. For a kid from the favela, wearing that red and black shirt was like touching the stars. He debuted in 2000 and scored at the Maracanã, a dream come true. Europe noticed. In 2001, Inter Milan called. Adriano was only 19, didn't speak a word of Italian, and had never left Brazil before, but he packed his bags, hugged his parents tight, and boarded the plane that would change everything. One swing of that left foot and Europe knew the Emperor had arrived. Before the throne, there were trials. When Adriano first arrived in Europe in 2001, Inter Milan saw raw talent, but also a 19-year-old boy thousands of miles from home. They sent him to Fiorentina on loan in 2002 to gain experience. Florence was a struggling side, fighting relegation, but Adriano still made his mark, scoring 6 goals in a half-season and earning praise for his attitude. It wasn't enough to save Fiorentina, but it proved he could handle Serie A defenders. Then came Parma. In 2002-03, playing alongside Adrian Mutu, Adriano flourished. The pair formed one of the league's deadliest partnerships. Mutu the finesse, Adriano the force. That season, Adriano scored 15 goals in just 28 matches, often bullying defenders and scoring from impossible angles. His performances forced Inter to bring him back. From 2004 to 2006, Adriano wasn't just a striker, he was a phenomenon. At 6 feet 2 inches and over 90 kilos, he could outmuscle centre-backs, but still glide past them with Brazilian flair. For Inter Milan, manager Roberto Mancini built the attack around him. Whether Inter played 4-4-2 or 4-3-1-2, Adriano was the spearhead. He could pin defenders with his back to goal, using his upper body strength to shield the ball. Drop deep to pick it up, then drive past midfielders with long, loping strides. Hit the ball with such violence that goalkeepers admitted they sometimes flinched. The numbers were absurd. In the 2004-05 season, he scored 28 goals in all competitions. In Serie A, in the Coppa Italia, in Europe, it didn't matter. If the ball came near him, it usually ended up in the net. One of his signature performances came against Porto in the Champions League. Inter needed a win. Adriano delivered a hat-trick, a header, a poacher's finish, and a trademark left-foot rocket from outside the box. The San Siro 2005 Coppa Italia final against Roma, he scored both goals in the first leg at the Stadio Olimpico, sealing another trophy for Inter. And then there was the national team. 2004 Copa America, Golden Boot with 7 goals. His 93rd minute equalizer in the final against Argentina, controlling a cross, spinning, and blasting into the roof of the net, is still replayed in Brazil every July. Brazil won on penalties. 2005 Confederations Cup, 5 goals, including 2 in the final against Argentina in a 4-1 demolition. Adriano was named Player of the Tournament, outshining Ronaldinho and Kaká. In those 2 years, he won 2 Coppa Italia titles, 2005, 2006, 1 Serie A title, 2005-06, later officially awarded after the Calciopoli scandal, Coppa America 2004, Confederations Cup 2005, Copa America, Golden Boot and MVP 2004, Confederations Cup Golden Boot and MVP 2005, and in 2005 he finished 6th in the Ballon d'Or voting, ahead of legends like Thierry Henry and Steven Gerrard. Off the pitch, his legend spread to living rooms worldwide. In Pro Evolution Soccer 6, Adriano had a 99-shot power rating. Pick Inter, get him the ball, and you could score from 40 yards. Gamers still joke he broke the game. At 23, he had it all: pace, power, skill, trophies, and a global fan base. Some said he was the next Ronaldo Nazario. Others dared to whisper he could be better. August 2004, Inter's pre-season training. Adriano's phone rang. It was family from Brazil. His father, Almir, had suffered a heart attack. By the time Adriano picked up, it was too late. Teammate Javier Zanetti recalled he dropped the phone and screamed. After that day, nothing was the same. Almir wasn't just his father. He was his anchor, the man who kept him grounded through the chaos of fame. Every goal Adriano scored, he pointed to the sky for his dad. At first, Adriano tried to hide the pain. He trained as hard as ever, celebrated goals with a smile, and told the media he was fine. He even scored crucial goals in the weeks after, as if willing himself to keep the crown. But behind closed doors, he was drinking more, staying out later, and isolating himself from teammates. Zanetti later said he was still the emperor on the pitch, but off it, you could see his eyes were somewhere else. The shift was gradual but unmistakable. His explosive runs became less frequent. He'd skip recovery sessions. Coaches noticed his fitness dipping. The press wrote it off as fatigue, but Inter insiders knew it was something deeper. By the 2006 World Cup, he still managed 2 goals for Brazil, but he wasn't the same relentless force. Brazil crashed out in the quarterfinals, and critics began asking if the Emperor's reign was fading. Back at Inter, the inconsistency grew. There were flashes, like a thunderous winner in the Milan derby, but they were rarer. Mancini dropped him for missing training. The tabloids feasted on nightclub stories. In late 2007, Inter sent him back to Brazil to recover mentally. For a moment, it worked. In 2009, Adriano returned to Flamengo and scored 19 goals in the Brasileirão, leading them to their first league title in 17 years. He was named Brazilian Footballer of the Year. The smile was back, but it didn't last. His return to Europe with Roma in 2010 ended without a single goal. At Corinthians, injuries and discipline issues cut his time short. His final professional stint at Atlético Paranaense lasted just a handful of games. By 27, the Emperor had walked away from top-level football. In 2016, Adriano officially retired. He sold the luxury mansion and moved closer to where it all began. In Villa Cruzeiro, he wasn't the Emperor, he was just Adriano. In 2024, the Maracanã hosted his farewell. Legends of Flamengo and Inter took part, but the most emotional moment came when a recreated recording of his father's voice echoed through the stadium, telling him how proud he was. Adriano broke down in tears. For some, his career will always be a what-if. For others, it's about what he was, the most feared striker in the world. If only for a... The Emperor's reign was short, but when he ruled like no other.